The next thing you learn is instrument flying. You start off in a linked trainer. You are given a particular set of courses and altitudes to fly, and you get simulated wind and weather conditions. Then you climb under the hood of the new linked trainer, and you fly. Inside, the sensation is one of actual flight. As in reality, you keep in touch with the control tower by radio. And when you have theoretically come in for a landing and touch down under minimum visibility conditions, believe me, you feel like it was for real too.
Welcome to a Spotlight video. We are in the area of the museum just prior to World War II. And I want to introduce you to an artifact who doesn't get a lot of traffic, doesn't get a lot of respect, and I want to tell you why it should be understood and respected. Airplanes fly today under two sets of rules, visual flight rules and instrument flight rules. Visual flight rules have been here since the time of the Wright brothers. The pilot looks out the window, sees the world, and flies accordingly. Instrument flight rules, you fly by instruments inside the aircraft. You don't have to look outside. It makes it fly safely through clouds at night, and it's transformed aviation for the modern world. Enter Edwin Link. He was an early pilot in 1920, and he thought it would be helpful to develop a device to teach pilots safely to fly by instruments. Instrument flying was not possible until 1929 in the first instrument flight. Edwin worked in his father's factory, the Link Automatic Piano and Organ Company. He knew pneumatics. He knew how to manage airflow. And so he conceived the idea of having an aircraft-like device moving with the controls much like an airplane really flies. And he created the blue box. It is mounted on a gimbal with 4 bellows beneath it that allow it to move up and down, sideways, and in fact rotate 360 degrees. Outside this, there was a chart area where a separate crab device would trace out the course of the flight on a chart. An instructor would sit there and direct him where to fly. The pilot would not be able to look outside the canopy inside the device. It seemed a good idea, but the world wasn't ready for it. And he tried to sell it to the government. They failed. He first sold it to amusement parks in Los Angeles as a toy. Eventually, in 1936, the Army Air Corps purchased 6 of them. Then came World War II, a dramatic need to safely teach pilots to fly by instruments. Instrument flying had progressed. People could learn to do this now. He sold many of these, and by the end of World War II, had trained over 500,000 pilots safely how to fly by instruments. He helped protect our nation. He saved the lives of many pilots. This should get more respect than it does. In the year 2000, the Link trainer was added to the list of historical mechanical engineering landmarks. And Mr. Edwin Link, what was his final story? In 1954, he became interested in archaeologic underwater research. He developed diving bells. And he developed a device that could sit underwater to allow saturation diving, where men and women could work below the sea for days on end, below several hundred feet. He became the first aquanauts. And one of those first aquanauts was John Lindbergh, one of the sons of Charles Lindbergh. Come to our museum, see the artifacts here, learn the stories behind it, and thank you for your time.